Boy, is it hot in Miami and humid. It's kind of threatening to rain too, so the mosquitoes are out. But I'll keep this short. So I often talk about dating and how to find an ideal partner, but a lot of people reach out to me and they ask me about what to do once you're in a relationship, how to keep it running smoothly, how to keep it healthy, vibrant, how to keep the flame alive, how to work on all the different facets that make a relationship last. So I wanted to talk about that today. And I kind of call it couple care because it's kind of like self-care. So we talk about taking care of ourselves in the wellness world, but what about the couple? What about the relationship? So today we're going to identify what we can do in regards to our couple care to make sure that we're optimizing the health and the vitality of the relationship for its longevity. So one thing that you can do is you can have these check-ins. Now, it's a check-in if you do it frequently enough, because then you're working on preventing problems from arising. It's a tune-up if it's not so frequent and you have to fix things that have gone awry. So it's up to you what the frequency is that you choose to implement this strategy, but I would suggest going with the preventative one. So it doesn't have to be every week. It could be every month. It could be every quarter, every 6 months, once a year. Now, the people that do it once a year are really looking at more of a tune-up. Even at 6 months, that can be a tune-up as well. So I would suggest maybe quarterly or once a month. So once a month is kind of a high frequency, but that's because you can then sort of narrow it down to like smaller bits and a shorter conversation, right? Whereas if you do it quarterly, it's going to be a bigger conversation, bigger issues, and maybe a longer discussion, right? So I would even start with the monthlies, and then you can spread it out to quarterlies once you kind of get a nice system going. Now, you can make this discussion very detailed, very nuanced, very long, but I would make sure you cover 4 basic areas. So when you do this discussion, you want to actually take it seriously. It doesn't have to be like a formal, stuffy meeting, but you absolutely want to put it on your calendar. You want to honor each other's times and make sure it's a priority, and then sit down in an environment that is private, that you feel comfortable talking freely, and that you feel like comfortable in, but you're not going to be so relaxed, like it's not going to be in your bed, so that you're associating having the meeting with intimacy and comfort, right? So you want to be able to be alert, but you want to be comfortable and relaxed. And so when you're having this meeting, take turns, and let's say the woman is going first, or whoever is going first, and you want to answer the question for yourself. What did I do well in the past month or the past quarter? And then what maybe I need to make more effort on, what I was slacking in, right? And so these things may have been already identified, or perhaps you just start off that way so that you can reflect and figure out what are the things that maybe you can start to pay attention to. And these will fluctuate at each meeting. If you have successfully done them and implemented them and they've become second nature, you can then move on to a different goal. Or things may just change depending on the circumstances. So number 1 is, what have I done well? And number 2 is, what I have been slacking on, maybe what I need to put more effort into so that I do it well. And because it's probably creating problems, right? Now, if it's not creating problems, then you don't really have to focus on it as a priority. So you do want to have this exchange so that you know what is essential for the relationship, or what's just an extra perk, right? To make it even better, the icing on the cake. And then you're going to tell your partner. Now, this can be the tricky part. What did they do really well? What are you grateful for? You want to be able to reward them with that praise and appreciation. This is a really important part. You absolutely don't want to miss this step. You don't want to minimize it. You don't want to do it ingenuinely. So you have to be authentic, and you have to pick things that you really do appreciate, and hopefully you will start to get into the habit to point out the things that you appreciate and notice the things that you appreciate, because sometimes we just gloss over those things and take them for granted. So this will draw them out. And then the last part is actually pointing out the things that you hope your partner will put more effort into because you didn't you didn't really see a lot of improvement in that area. And so we have to be pretty strong as individuals, pretty thick-skinned, and understand that this is our partner, this is our teammate. They're on our side, and we're coming together, and we're only as strong as our weakest link, so we're on the same side. And if there's something that you're weak in, I'm only pointing it out or suggesting that you put more effort into it because I want us to function better. Because what's good for me is good for you, and vice versa. So if one person is particularly sensitive, we want to make sure that we sort that out first, right? Like, what's going on that they're really hypersensitive? Looking at some of those personality quirks, neuroses, or maybe there's not enough trust to make you feel safe. Maybe there's not enough appreciation and gratitude for you to feel that, it's not just all criticism, right? So once those 4 things have been done by one person, then you switch and the other person does the same. And hopefully this will start to catalyze a really nice dialogue between the two of you, where you can feel good about everything that you've been working on and have clarity on the things that are needed still in the relationship to be improved. Because there are things that we need from our partners, and there are things that we need to sort out ourselves, or maybe just some sort of mix of the two. So this helps to clarify what those needs are that we're responsible for or partially responsible for, and how we can help our partners meet those needs, or how we can help our relationship, what our relationship needs. If you want to look at it how I would look at it, as a system, you create a whole separate entity between the two of you. Your life is different. It's not just one person's life or the other person's life and sort of cut and pasted together. Something new and different evolves all together, and so your relationship needs to be taken care of. So, like I said, I call it couple care. Now try this out, and I would love to hear how it works for you, and anything that I can do to help, just reach out and I will reply. So you can comment below, or you can email me privately and confidentially, and I'll respond as soon as I can, or just, go to my website and book a free 15-minute discovery call, and we can discuss maybe working together, because I do couples online and I also do one-on-one sessions. So don't forget to subscribe. Ciao.